This on-demand section of Live at Lunch is brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating their 90th anniversary in 2026, serving Louisiana customers and Louisiana farmers from Southwest Louisiana. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com.
Live at Lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at Lunch. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From the original Walk-Ons, Burbank at Nicholson. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gautreaux, Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Colucci with us today. Man, the only thing can stop Colucci is the Olympics. Hockey's on break for a couple of weeks.
What does Randy McKay say about buys? You don't want to buy when you're hot.
When you're hot, right.
You don't want to buy when you're hot. So
True story, but the Olympic hockey is going to put the NHL on ice, if you excuse the pun.
He was an overtime away from sweeping the board again last Thursday.
Yeah, so let's see what he comes up with. Hockey break. Tonight's the last night of NBA before that break for the All-Star game on Sunday.
9 teams tanking before the All-Star break.
What a great product. What an absolute joy to watch.
It's called poor leadership.
Yeah. No. On this, we are in 100% agreement.
The guys get paid unbelievable amounts of money not to play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or just don't feel like playing. And apparently now they're,
No.
We'll trickle down to the college
paid
game.
not to play, whether it's the team's decision or their decision. I mean, it's just.
I'll just tell them the same thing when they say, why aren't you watching? It's the same reason you don't play. I don't feel like it.
It's hard to get excited about a product where the players are not. So, Charlie, I got to tell you, did you watch the Olympics at all? Probably not.
You talking about the last 2 days? No, I haven't.
Well, since it's been on.
No.
I mean,
no,
a week roughly.
Well, Max made us watch the curling yesterday, or 2 days ago.
Well, curling, whether it's the skiing, whether it's even the figure skating, this quad god, man, this dude is legit, man. Yeah. This guy in Virginia, he is unbelievable. But they're busting their ass. They've obviously they care. They're competing their asses off. It's in the natural landscape of the shenanigans with the kid from Kansas or 9 teams tanking before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I've gained a little bit more respect, man. These athletes are getting after it, man.
Well,
it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's called me old, whatever. I've never thought I'd be glued into figure skating as much as I am, but I am.
Olympic
I'm
athletes
sorry.
have trained their entire life for routines, runs, games that in some cases last minutes, in some cases last less than a minute, or one series of games if you're playing, hockey or something like that. If you
I understand the pressure too.
You train track athletes train their entire lives for what might be 20 seconds on the track. So I understand there's going to be.
But everybody's got the same deal. But but you know what? A lot of these basketball players, they played a long time too.
They did.
Okay, it's not like the finality. It's not like a 2-minute stretch. Okay, but that's everybody's competing under the same circumstances, but they put a lot of time into their profession.
Let me add one layer of that. Every basketball player in the Olympics every American basketball player in the Olympics since 1992 has been a ridiculously wealthy person. We agree with that?
Well, I'm not talking about Olympic basketball players. I'm talking about NBA players. I'm talking about college players now with Peterson. I'm talking about That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's why the college game and when it's so funny when you're in a pro market, those colleges get shoved to the back as far as the coverage. I mean, you're going to tell me there's going to be an atmosphere at an NBA regular season game like there was at the Dean Dome Saturday night?
No,
and you don't need that. How about Nebraska Was it Tuesday night against Michigan? How about Lincoln? How about that atmosphere?
Yeah.
I mean, how about the atmosphere? Even Miami, who can't they can't. Nobody's interested in college basketball in Miami, and it's just so much better, man. It's just so much better. So,
a couple of other things before we get to college basketball. LSU softball in the tournament in Clearwater. Watched a little bit of this morning. They got hammered. It was 6-0 the last time I looked in the seventh. They're wrapping up there. They're going to play Oklahoma State, who is right now beating Georgia in their second game. So freshman pitcher for Nebraska throwing this hellacious changeup had the Tigers tied in knots. Maybe of interest to some here. Guess who's in court this morning? Trinidad Chambliss. They are in the
with
process.
Mars?
They're in the process of calling witnesses. The doctor went up there, was asked if he agreed with the medical records saying that he had been impacted in 2022. He says, I do. When asked if he disagreed with the assessment that it would be a valid reason he didn't play in 2022, he says, I don't. So that if you got a doctor up there that says, could it have impacted him? Yes. Do I think that would be a valid reason that he didn't play in 2022? He said no. That's pretty damning testimony, wouldn't you think? If the first witness up there is the doctor that says,
whose witness was that?
I don't know who called him. I can't imagine it was.
That would be a misstep if it's Mars.
Right. I can't imagine that was somebody that was called by
the NCAA.
Who's
it versus? It's Chambliss versus who? The NCAA, huh?
Yeah. All it says is the first witness is Dr. Dye of Oxford. And I'm just going to read this exactly like it is. Was Trinidad Chambliss's medical conditions in 2022, could it have impacted his ability to play and practice? Do you believe that? I do. Do you disagree with the assessment it would be a valid reason? Wait, let me see. Asked if he disagreed with the assessment that it would be a valid reason he didn't play in 22. I don't.
Dr. Kiffin's buddy then, huh?
Disagreed with let me see if I'm reading this right. Disagreed with the assessment that it would be a valid reason. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that he didn't play. He says,
he had tonsillitis, but it's far from where it should have kept him from competing.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, no. Let me read this again.
What the hell are you doing, Charlie?
I read it to you, but I'm trying to get if you disagree that it would be a valid reason he didn't play, it's a double negative. He says, I don't. I don't disagree that it would be a valid reason that he didn't play. Okay, so he's agreeing with him. I read that wrong the first time, okay? And he says, what do you mean could? So they're cross-examining the doctor right now. Joe Judge, the OC, is the next witness. So I'm going to try not to get too much into the legalese of this, but they're in court this morning in Oxford.
Mars is there.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
And Chambliss is there also. He's present for the deal. So
where's the courthouse located?
Oxford.
How'd the judge get his job? Get the bench? You think he's appointed, huh?
I don't know.
Most of them are elected.
Yeah. Couldn't tell. I mean, I've asked you this before.
They didn't want to bring it to Starkville courthouse.
Probably not.
No.
I'm sure they checked the judge for his donations to university athletic funds.
I thought it was interesting, though, because, Mars versus the NCAA. I'll take Mars minus 480, okay? But there was the level of confidence on this whole thing out of the Ole Miss fan base, support group, administration. It was really low, huh? Usually, it's, you always have your hometown slant.
Yeah.
Always. When does a fan base think that, I don't feel great about this one? Huh?
Only when the coach has gone so far downhill when you say, all right, do you have confidence in your coach? When you're ready to fire a coach. Other than that, no. They are.
No, this type of deal.
This type of deal, you're always going to go to bat for your guy. You're going to say, hey, how did Montana get this linebacker a ninth year of eligibility? I'm not making that up. That happened yesterday. A ninth year
Utah.
of eligibility. What's that?
For Utah.
Thought it was Montana. The former UCLA linebacker at Montana might be another guy too. But this guy got a 9th year.
I thought he was playing at Utah. Okay.
But anyway, so you see stuff like that, and you go, well, how can our guy not? Our guy had tonsillitis, respiratory problems, kept him out in 2022. Never mind. You remember the Kristen Fulton deal here when he faked the drug test and they suspended him for a year, and everybody said, well, that's too harsh. And I was like, no, it wasn't. I mean, we took all kind of heat for that because we said, no, if you're suspended for this amount of time for a failed drug test and you fake it and you get caught, the penalty for that has to be more. Otherwise, everybody would fake it. No, he should be eligible. And guess what? He got eligible. I thought it benefited LSU, and I thought it was a terrible decision because the kid had knowingly cheated, and got caught. And yet there was no more penalty than what he had for what he would have done if he'd have failed a drug test in the first place. Now, for this is different. This is a medical opinion of whether or not Trinidad Chambliss was physically ready to play in 2022. How do you prove that, really?
He's a Montana linebacker. I know he played at USC. I thought he played at Utah before also. Okay.
Yeah, he missed.
Solomon, Samoan guy. They usually gravitate to Salt Lake City and Provo.
He missed multiple years, complete years with injuries, and he is so now into his 9th year of college eligibility. And they gave it to him, okay? Bediako. He got eligible for.
What about the
3
Miami
weeks.
Football player? He had 9 years too.
Yeah, was a tight end maybe or whatever. I forgot. Yeah, but that's another one. Okay.
Yes, Cam McCormick. He was at Oregon and Miami.
Try to figure how this all works. I mean, if Chambliss is in that courtroom and they're going to all of this trouble, they're going to fight this tooth and nail because Chambliss could have thrown his hands up and said, "You know what? I'm going pro. My stock is pretty high right now. I'm going pro," and he didn't do that.
Well, do we buy? What did you buy into the Diego Pavia extra year? It was bogus too, huh?
I don't like it. I think
no. But you don't think it was a valid reason, because he lost out on NIL.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so this is a BS deal too.
Yeah.
But Diego got his.
He did.
So what's the difference here? That's the only,
No, they're citing Diego got it because the judge said your junior college year shouldn't count against you. They're arguing medical here. They're arguing that the tonsillitis that caused the respiratory problems prohibited him from making.
He got beat out.
Yeah, and that's what the opposite side is. Said, well, no, he just got beat out. So what they're in an Oxford courtroom this morning arguing is whether or not Trinidad Chambliss was healthy enough to play college football in 2022.
But it was prejudice. That's the common thing. You're both under 6 feet tall. You don't deserve. You got beat out because you're short. So short guys should get extra years of eligibility. Short quarterbacks, once they've proven that they can play at an SEC level. Huh? There's the common.
Right. And the most bogus thing to me is, well, they didn't know that there was going to be, these revenue sharing and NIL possibilities when they enrolled in school. You know what? When I enrolled in school, Jimmy, I didn't know that Apple stock was going to do what it did. Otherwise, I'd have taken my tuition money and put it in Apple stock, and I'd have never went to class, and I'd have never went to work. Okay, if I'd have just taken the tuition money in 1989 and put it into Apple stock, man, you'd be visiting me on my own private island somewhere maybe. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get what I'm saying. You can't predict the future and then go back and make a ruling based on that, in my opinion. And I don't know how you prove one way or the other that he was healthy or not healthy enough to play in 2022. He was healthy enough. They probably, and he was good enough, they probably would have found a way for him to play.
He was good enough, but he didn't get any opportunity because he was short. Diego was good enough, but he got beat out because he was short. He had to go to, didn't get any real offers coming out of high school in New Mexico. So he had to go with the New Mexico ROTC or whatever it was to go play. I mean, this guy, for the linebacker from Montana, was at USC for 7 years. He played 2 of them. He played 2022 and 2024. The other 5 years, he did not play a snap due to injury.
And I think that the redshirt year.
He's 26.
The redshirt year was put in for transfers back when you had to sit out. It was put in for catastrophic injuries that cost you an entire season. You should have a mulligan. And for a long time, we saw a limited amount of cases. I can think of maybe I count them on one hand, where guys who had 2 injuries that kept them completely out of seasons got a 6th year. I seem to remember Rusty Medeiros might have been one of the first ones. You remember the lineman from Miami back in the 80s? He had 2 season-ending injuries. They gave him a 6th year. And it was like, okay.
They coached him.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you know what? That kid had some bad luck. He had 2 blowouts or whatever it was and missed 2 full seasons. The tricky part came when you redshirted a kid for advantage his freshman year, which used to be very common, and then he had a catastrophic injury that cost him an entire season later on in his eligibility. Would you give him a 6th year? And most of those kids were denied. If you had redshirted for an advantage and then you got an injury, that was just your tough luck for a long time. Not anymore, apparently. You can have.
What's Mars' record?
It's pretty good. I don't have a 1-loss record on it, but it's pretty good.
You remember a loss?
No, but I don't keep up with him minus the really, really high-profile deals either. So I can't tell you he's never lost. But the ones we've heard about, he tends to win.
You can't remember a loss.
Mars?
Yeah. I don't.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't follow everything that he does. But the high-profile things that we've seen, no, he's been pretty good.
He thinks he's got a shot.
He does.
He's there.
Wouldn't have taken the case if he did.
Where's Oxford,
Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. Quaint little town.
They got it back up and running, huh? After they shut down the school for a while, they got hit hard.
Yeah, no, they got hit very hard.
Yeah,
very hard. They're the original walk-ons.
I mean, but this is like the first week the courthouse is probably open too, huh? Was this thing delayed at all?
I don't think so. I think this is where it was supposed to be because they wanted to do the NCAA thing first, which they got denied 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
and this was the second step after that.
Charlie, baseball starts tomorrow.
Baseball starts tomorrow.
Walking distance.
In fact,
have you time to walk?
27
what is it, 5-minute walk, maybe.
If that. If you got to wait to cross the street.
I mean, this is the place, man. It's I met a guy who owns some of the walk-ons in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex area.
Mm-hmm.
Down at the Beau Rivage this past weekend, and he was talking about. He said, "Yeah, that LSU walk-ons gets busy in LSU games." I said, "Yeah, just a little."
Wasn't Dak Prescott, was it?
No, it wasn't Dak Prescott. So
I think he owns one up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so.
Okay, so the man, look, I mean, it's spring, should be great weather. Are they gonna? What will they do if they get rained out on Saturday? Will they try and play a doubleheader tomorrow, day night?
They hadn't said that yet. So
they'll play 2 on Sunday.
They could. They got another game on Monday.
Travel day, huh? But this team can't be coming in on a charter flight.
Milwaukee.
There's no way.
No, I wouldn't think. But I don't know. They may be snowbirding it. I'd have to look at their record. They may be.
You mean their schedule?
Yeah, they may be down here for multiple series. They got Kent State's going to be here on Monday. So
yeah, I know, but Milwaukee is the travel team.
Yeah,
we need to know
if they get rained out on Saturday, I don't know what happens. They'll decide.
Well, they can't play it day night tomorrow. Whatever it is, come on over here to walk on. So come on by and make this your meeting place. It's walking distance to Alec Box. So it's going to be a busy weekend, man. You got opening a weekend for LSU defending their national championship in baseball. You've got the big one on Saturday night at the PMAC. Kim Mulkey has never beaten Dawn Staley. So even the ESPN game day, the basketball game day, has the move from the men's side to the women's side for this. Heard Mulkey on with Jacob and Matt this morning talking about how they're setting up auxiliary viewing area if you don't have a ticket to the game. So kind of capture the atmosphere right now. So a lot of people kind of bouncing back and forth, for baseball and basketball on Saturday. So, but make your place. And if you can't be at the game, the auxiliary, this ain't a bad place to have a viewing area as well. Next best place to being at the game itself, in the arena itself, is right here at the original Walk-Ons. It's never too early also to schedule that. Reserve your spot for those crawfish boils where this little warm spell is really going to spike the quality and the quantity of the crawfish. So, man, we are about to really get into them this weekend in the South Louisiana area. The original Walk-Ons on Burbank, just off of Nicholson.
Live at Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Handycast up with previews of the hitters and pitchers, 2 different podcasts up right now. Brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating their 90th year in business here in 2026, supporting our Louisiana farmers. Go to supremerice.com. Jay Johnson was meeting with the media right when we started the show, and so during that segment, he announced LSU's rotation for the opening weekend. And it's pretty much what most people expected. There was a little bit of, speculation about if Cooper Williams would get in there. But it will be Case and Evans tomorrow night. Will be on the mound opening afternoon tomorrow at 2 o'clock. 5-1, 2.05 ERA last year. Well, I got to give you his resume was absolutely fantastic as a freshman last year. Kansas transfer Cooper Moore will start on Saturday. Second team All Big 12 for the Jayhawks last year. He was 7-3, 3.96 ERA, 85 strikeouts, 19 walks in 88 innings. Pitched mostly a lot of Sundays, but he was their best pitcher a year ago. And William Schmidt, the local product from Catholic High, will get the ball on Sunday. Schmidt was 7-0 as a freshman, but really has been coming on. We talked about that a little bit, Jimmy, in the last few scrimmages. He's really been coming on, and he will go on Sunday. And then LSU has a game on Monday against Kent, so they'll need a fourth starter, and then a game against Nichols on Wednesday. So they're going to play 5 games in 6 days. So you're going to see a lot of different pitchers here in the first 6 days of the season. And we're going to see Cooper Williams, I'm sure, at some point in all of that. Also told during the break, since you asked, that, yes, they do have the ability to go with a doubleheader tomorrow if the forecast for Saturday looks too bad. So we'll keep watching
Wisconsin, that. Milwaukee, their schedule, which is the first 20 games are on the road. Charlie, it's a little cold in Milwaukee, huh? So
yeah.
they don't play again till Friday at Duke, so they're not paying for that the whole team to stay on the road and lodging and food and everything else for 5 days. So I'm sure they have a commercial flight back home on Sunday. So if they've got some wiggle room, it's probably going to be a Friday day-night doubleheader.
Game time, 2 o'clock tomorrow, if possible, Saturday at 1 o'clock and Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then Monday is at 3 and Wednesday is at 1. They're trying to keep with, they've got these games during the day. They're actually getting, not the rain notwithstanding from the cold, actually pretty decent right now.
It's way warmer than the average temps right now. Yes,
would have been quite a bit tougher if they had done that. So LSU baseball, the excitement level just huge for this team because they're bringing back so much from what was a national championship team, but they also brought in a terrific transfer class. Jay Johnson said he had a chance to get in a text chat with Lane Kiffin, the Portal King for
that might be
baseball.
2 different sports. The number 1 budget in the country,
and
for their player salary this year, and
not necessarily their personalities, but the work ethic and their approach to what they're doing now. Pretty close, right?
Yes, that's where it stops.
Their personalities couldn't be any more different.
Hard-working budget / resources. It's a good combination. It's a good combination.
About the same age. Kiffin's like 2 years older than Johnson, so a lot of similarities. It's good when. A
lot of man.
I said not the personalities. I qualified it. Believe me, I qualified it before that. Look, here's what I know about every
Let's
coach.
Go out on a town.
Every coach
coming?
Every coach on this campus knows that football drives the economic train. Hey, it's great to get along with the football coach. I always like.
Johnson's go right on his own, man. He doesn't care if he's MFing a new football coach, bro.
But he's not. That's the whole.
No, it's fine. Well, Johnson's embraced everything, man. He's a pro. Listen. I'm sorry, but we love Skip, and would we do anything besides a non-conference schedule? That's the only thing I could get on Johnson about. Come on, man, give us a little bit stronger than that. But anyway, he works his behind off, man. He's got no kids. It's just the work ethic is off the charts, man. After that first national championship, they jumped his behind in those showcases out in Arizona. So, man, coach your team. I'm coaching mine. You think I'm stopping? You think you're going to stop me from being aggressive and going out and getting kids, or and if I have to, pay some to get them here, whatever. No, I mean, but to have the legendary coach like Skip Bertman, kind of who's very much around the program, it's not always embraced. This guy has done everything right as far as, and that's why this thing is a runaway train. I mean, it is a monster. To the fact that it's so strong at LSU, I believe one of a few factors that Tony Vitello's not in the league anymore. He's not even in the sport anymore. He's in Major League Baseball. Johnson's going to run him off. I mean, was Urban Meyer really burnt out when he left Florida? I think a little nicky, that butt whipping he put on him in Atlanta had something to do with it, and he knowing what was going to be around in Tuscaloosa for a while. Don't you think? In hindsight,
he got renewed enthusiasm when he went to Ohio State, didn't he?
Yeah. No. It does. But he does do it, to your point, Charles, and he's the last person to have to do it. But, yes, he's going to do he's done everything as far as those little things. Perfect, no doubt. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060. The only thing that could stop this guy is the Olympics.
Yes. Fire on ice.
This damn little upstart competition, international.
Let's see
Olympics.
what he comes up with.
He might have something.
That's a college basketball. Who knows? Live at Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Latvian hockey. That's what we're looking at here. They play the United States here this afternoon.
I got Czechoslovakia in the puck line. That's what you do when you go swimming without your floaties.
You ever see a puck line of 4?
Has Colucci ever been called a pair of floaties? That's what I feel like.
Ask him.
That's what I feel like, Colucci. I mean, I'm trying to delve into this Olympic hockey without consulting you first. So getting it handed to me in this Olympic hockey. What's going on, my man?
Not much, my man. You got to be careful with this Olympic hockey. I'll be honest with you guys. I have not been betting that much. I mean, you saw the way Italy handled them 70 shots last night. And, it's just a tough nut to swallow when you're betting on favorites laying 4 goals and you don't really know who the opponent is. So, you definitely have to be careful. I think it's, tread lightly. Do not just jump in and dive in. Very difficult to handicap at this point.
So the U.S. comes on after this. Who are they playing?
Latvia.
Latvia's
got the puck line is 4.
So the
puck line is 4.
The puck line, yes.
Puck line
yes, I understand.
4.
Well, I mean,
you just don't see that
the
very
women
often.
beat the Canadians 5-0. They covered it, and that's supposed to be the 1 versus 2. Any thoughts on the Canada versus U.S. Who you like in this thing long term?
It's kind of tough. They both have stacked rosters. I mean, I don't know if there's any grumblings in the Canadian locker room like everybody's perceiving, but, I think that's a very, very difficult matchup. Both teams are stacked. I definitely think the goaltending is going to come into play. And you have a lot of superstar power on Canada. I mean, McDavid is there. You have Crosby, Suzuki, a lot of veterans, and a good mix. But you have to the only 2 teams that only have 2 players each with Olympic experience are Canada and the United States. So these are relatively new rosters. They're going through the motions, trying to play together. And, I probably would take whoever the plus is in that game. And we're going to see how these lines go. I mean, you're looking at the United States, in this next game, I'm seeing money lines of 4,000 against Latvia. So, these are unbettable games unless you're parlaying and, putting them together. It's not like the NHL, guys. Keep that in mind. The NHL is a totally different animal. The teams are somewhat, perceived to be evenly matched. But, you had a lopsided matchup yesterday, and the Italy goaltender was just amazing. So, therefore, you're not able to cover the spread with this powerhouse team with 60 shots.
What was that goalie's name? Colucci? Huh? Was that your cousin?
I wish it was. I wish it was. I wish I could get some Olympic glory, and I wish I was in Italy right now. I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, definitely a very tough handicap.
Oh, man. Max, find me some odds on the quad god. I mean, this guy, ain't nobody beating that cat. I can tell you that. So give me some odds on that. But anyway, when we last talked to you last week, by the way, congratulations. We mentioned it earlier, but I'll tell you directly. A near sweep again on overtime. So your last sweep, we got over the hump in the overtime. This time we didn't, but outstanding handicap. And again, your torrid pace continues for this 25-26 NHL season. But about 15 to 20% of the handle was in at the South Point and Rampart. How did it finish up for the Super Bowl? For props, side, total, in-game, whatever.
You break it up bad there, Jimmy. What did you say? What was the question?
How'd the Super Bowl go for you guys?
It was all right. I mean, the handle was way down, and it just the statewide was a reflection. If you saw the numbers, I just don't think that people came out for the two teams. When you have Drake May and Sam Darnold as the faces of the game, it's kind of hard to get a handle from the previous year. Basically, when you had Mahomes, you got Kelsey, Taylor Swift, all that parity. Saquon almost breaking the rushing record. You had some superstar drawing power. Whereas this game, you're talking about guys like Cooper Kupp, Smith-Najee, great players, Stephon Diggs, don't get me wrong, but, it just didn't have that allure or feel of a great matchup. And, Seattle just dominated start to finish. Patriots couldn't get that offense going. I got to question the play calling. And I've said this time and time again, when you're dealing with that coaching staff for the Patriots, there's a lot of losses there. And a lot of jobs that were lost between the offensive coordinator and the head coach. And I'm not going to start pinning names. We know their names. But I've said this time and time again. Vrabel coached his way out of, Tennessee. So, it's very tough when you get out-coached and you don't have the manpower.
He's coach of the year. I mean,
he had the easiest schedule. He had the easiest schedule in the NFL. I mean, you got to look at that too, Jimmy. I mean, you could do all you want in the regular season. You saw the Patriots; they had an undefeated regular season in the past with Tom Brady, and still lost a big game. And that's what you get smudged with. You lost a big game, so you have to understand that winning that Super Bowl is what puts you over the cusp. And Drake May's still young. I'm sure he will get a return match there, but you never could tell. I mean, Dan Marino never did, and he was one of the greatest gunslingers I ever saw in my life. So,
Dennis Allen never lost any big games, huh?
Well, big games
I don't. I'm not going to put. You're going to put the head coach of the Patriots with Dennis Allen.
I mean, he hadn't played any big games.
Let's start comparing AC Green and Michael Jordan now. Could we compare that?
Well, there's been other coaches with light schedules as well that didn't do as well. So I mean, but anyway, we cast a ticket on the coach.
He did a great coaching job. But let's keep in mind Miami and the Jets were in that division. And
maybe
bingo square.
Maybe if he was all that at the award ceremony, the NFL Honor Show, the presenter might pronounce his name properly. Instead of Vrabel, she called him Verbal, and she called him Verbal twice. Just to double down in case you didn't hear it the right time. So, yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting.
They had no game. I mean, they had no game plan. That's what the whole key was. they were in disarray from the get-go. I mean, you got to try and get that ball downfield. That's the whole thing. Catch Seattle on their heels instead of letting them establish an immense pass rush. And basically, the kid guy, I mean, didn't he break the record for getting sacked in the Super Bowl? I mean, it was just a cluster there, and the Patriot offensive line wasn't prepared at all for the defensive schemes that Seattle put out there. So, definite credit to the Seattle coaching staff.
I do think the postseason run, I think Vrabel's done a good job. Now, Max thinks Vrabel's overrated like you. I think Vrabel's very, very good. I think you could do a lot worse than Mike Vrabel as a head coach in the NFL. But I do think their path was very fortunate. You know, the Chargers were so banged up. I mean, Stroud was atrocious in the divisional round. And then you're playing a backup quarterback who hadn't thrown the ball in 2 years. It reminded me of the 85 Patriots that capitalized on 16 turnovers between the Jets, Raiders, and Dolphins on their way to New Orleans to the Super Bowl when they got beat by the 85 Bears. So, I don't know. But Charlie, you think that New England's going to have a little championship Super Bowl runner-up hangover, which has been a thing, you know, in the past?
I wouldn't call it a hangover so much. It's just a reduction to the mean.
For lack of a better term.
A reduction to the mean. You know, why is there so much volatility? Why is every year in the NFL, one team in the division goes from first to worst and then worst to first? Usually that happens, and it's got a lot to do with the schedule. So this is, if you take the schedule that they had this year, which was very advantageous, next year they could play at the exact same level, and just the level of competition is going to bring them back 2 or 3 games to the pack, probably. That's why you usually see, in my opinion, it's why I think the Saints have a great chance, and why I was so adamant that last weekend of their opportunity to finish last and get that last place schedule. That's worth maybe a 2 or 3 game boomerang the next year. Just a schedule change.
Kaluch, what are you seeing now? What kind of handle? Is a little bit of a pause at the sports book, or what do you guys? What are they betting the most?
Yeah, definitely a little pause. And now we're with Caesar Sports, so we have the expanded betting menu now. So they're remodeling my book, so we're definitely seeing way more NBA action. There's no NHL. So the NBA and the college basketball really come into the forefront. And, you know, we are booking some Olympic action, so we have that great betting menu. We have the in-game. It is unbelievable how it's basically on every game, and it just continues throughout the game. You know, so in-game is very popular with the Caesar Sports platform, as well as right now the men's college basketball and the NBA.
Colucci, I didn't know. Is this news to me? I didn't know that you guys were using Caesars now.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago was this?
That shows you how much Jimmy Ott shows to Dwayne Colucci's Twitter feed that I've been advertising it for 3 months, and this guy doesn't even look at the phone. Other than the winning post to retweet.
Welcome to my world, Kaluch. We're having jackets made.
It's incredible, right? I just don't understand it. Unbelievable.
Yes, I apologize for not, swimming in the cesspool, more often than I do. I apologize. So, no, I didn't know. I really didn't know. So, I mean, because you guys, Chris is such and we've had him on, multiple times as well. His book's great. The first one was off the charts great. I like Chris a lot, but you're using basically all of Caesar's numbers now. So it's not, Chris and them doing their own numbers.
Yeah, it's not, sad day definitely with the affiliation. It was great for over a decade. I mean, and, Chris and Vinny and I got along so well. And, Jimmy Vaccaro retired earlier in the year as well. So, it's a kind of a little change. We're grasping it as the best as me and my staff can. But, definitely, a sad day, but a happy day as well to turn the page and a new affiliation with a sports book with a way more expanded betting menu, guys. That's definitely what comes into the forefront, that the betting menu is so expanded. It's incredible, especially that in-game menu. And, that's what everybody's looking for nowadays, guys. They just want to, bet as much in-game as they can and go from there.
Well, that's what, Charlie, so this past football season we rotated between our Baton Rouge properties, the Queen and Bally's, which are DraftKings outlet, and he shifted us down to New Orleans at the Caesars New Orleans property because he sensed this. he sensed that we need to familiarize ourselves with the Caesars platform a little bit more. So Charlie sensed this coming on. He's like one of them hounds out on the prairie that could sniff a storm coming or something.
Clairvoyance knows no bounds, right?
Come back, Charlie. I love it. Definitely.
That's his.
God.
You didn't know his nickname, Prairie Hound Hanny? Huh? Yeah.
No,
So
I didn't know. Wow.
One of the more flattering nicknames I have. Not all of them are.
You learn something new every day.
Colucci, you're the best, man. We got to go, but, man, keep it. And, listen, for those of you who want to follow Dwayne on Twitter, as I do religiously, it's at NYBookieDwayne. At NYBookieDwayne.
Definitely. Love you guys. And watch that Sweden. They'll get better. 60 shots. That Italian goalie was off the hook. Keep your eye on that Sweden. They'll continue.
What they call it, standing on your head? What was it?
Lights on. Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Colucci in the pipes. Thank you, Colucci. We'll talk to you next week. Great stuff as always. So I guess, with last year, the Swifties and the Impact and the Chiefs and the high-profile and everything, more, casual. And then they had the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, so that's obvious. That's going to increase. This next year is going to be, I don't know. It's going to be interesting if they regulate Kalshi now in that effect with their neighboring state in California. Being because a lot of those people are doing Kalshi because they don't have illegal sports gambling in California.
You asked about the Quad God. A lot of the legal sports books do not allow betting on figure skating because judges.
It's judges, right?
The prediction markets are allowed to do so. 93% to win the men's figure skating gold.
Lay it. Quad God, Charlie. You got to see this cat, man. He is something.
Great nickname.
He is something. Don't forget our friends at Supreme Rice. That's right, Mondays at Supreme Rice. It's Lundy Gras Red Beans this Monday at Supreme Rice. And what kind of rice do I use? It is the Parboil rice. Man, once I started using this, I just can't go back to anything else. There is no doubt. And look, I love the jasmine rice, but this Parboil rice, it's firm, it's thick, it's restaurant quality rice. It is less kind of that residue when you kind of rinse off your rice at the when you finish boiling it. So, man, check it out. It's available at wherever you find your Supreme Rice at most of the grocery stores. I know I'll get it right here down the street at Rouse's on Lee by Burbank. Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com.
Live at the original Walk-Ons live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Tom Mars' greatest hits up in Oxford in the courtroom trying to get Trinidad Chambliss eligible. Brought the doctor up there, asked the doctor, does this impact his ability to play in practice? Yes. Do you think that that's a valid reason he didn't play in 2022? I do. Second witness, Joe Judge, went up there, asked Joe Judge, do you think that this will be in his best interest to play college football next year? Yes. Do you think that he has a reasonable shot at success and maybe winning the Heisman Trophy next year? Yes. Guess who? Do you believe? Do you believe it will be in his best interest to have another year of college development based on your experience as a professional coach? Yes, I absolutely do. Guess who the next witness is after Joe Judge? Mars' greatest hits. If you were gonna call somebody that would absolutely, positively, no question defend Trinidad Chambliss and his condition in 2022, and remember this is before Lane Kiffin even knew who he was, who would you call? Next up on the stand, Trinidad Chambliss' mother.
I was gonna say parents.
So, yeah. Tom Mars' greatest hits.
I think he would benefit, preparing for the pros, be eligible for 3 more seasons.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do
stop
that,
there.
It'd be 20. Call Tyler Shuck. Hey, does it benefit you? You were 25 before you got to the NFL.
Put Betty Ocko on the stand.
Come on. Oh, hour number 2 straight ahead here at the original Walk-Ons, Burbank and Nicholson, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The great things about the original Walk-Ons is its proximity to Alex Box Stadium, where 26 hours from now, the Tigers will start the 2026 season against Milwaukee. Kason Evans gets the ball to open. And before, during, and after the game, and all of the games, 5 games in the first 6 days of the season, come by here at the original Walk-Ons, or maybe before you head over for women's basketball, the monster matchup between LSU and South Carolina on Saturday night.
Yes, indeed.
Walk-Ons.
Yep. Last year, Saturday, for like Spanish Town, it was ridiculous weather, huh?
Spanish
it
Town,
was,
yeah.
It was, they were parked. I had to get to the Queen that day. I had to go like almost to Scotlandville to kind of loop around, man. It was people parked on the interstate and everything.
You from New Orleans, man. You ought to know about steering around a parade.
You want to? I've got a list of things why I don't go to Mardi Gras parades. Okay, let's go. That is neat. The number. Well, I got some others, but that's way up there. There is nothing worse than Mardi Gras traffic, parade traffic.
I think it was a record.
There's
last year.
nothing worse.
Record
Huh?
crowds. I think.
It was the weather was so good, man. Last year, it was just so. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe the people just parked. Hey, this is close. Pull over on a 110.
Do you own a pink shirt, Jim?
What's that?
Do you own a pink shirt?
A pink shirt? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Just Spanish. Maybe you should wear it Saturday.
The flamingos. Yeah, got it.
I have a. It goes with the navy suit. Yes. So
Okay.
that's
It's
about
a nice
it. So,
combination. It's a
I like
nice
that.
combination.
Yes.
The league last night, we talked about yesterday, so there were 3 big home underdogs. All 3 of them lost. Georgia, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State all lost, and all of the favorites covered. Did Tennessee go off at 7.5?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
all 3 of them
they
covered. The one surprise in the league last night was the one home favorite in Texas A&M. Got beat up on the offensive glass pretty much by Missouri, and the Tigers go in there and get a
led for most
victory.
of the game.
Yeah.
Surprised me. That cost us on Otterlocks a money line parlay. Or alt line, because we put Michigan at -5.5, which that was about the biggest surprise, that they were losing for that long.
They were down 9 at the half.
11, I think. They were down double digits for a big stretch, and like 10 minutes to go, they just went crazy, and it went by about 10 themselves. But yeah, they were really on the ropes. Buckyball, Charlie. So watching a game last night, guess what they weren't doing?
They didn't cause a whole bunch of turnovers. I noticed
They weren't
that.
pressing.
Okay. See, I didn't get a chance to watch this game.
They weren't pressing.
I was at an event last night. I'm leaning on you because I didn't get to see this game.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed was there weren't a whole bunch of they only turned the ball over 9 times.
So is this extreme style of play, when it got into conference play, were people caught off guard with it? Did they also have a little bit of good fortune? That 6-minute run of shooting in Auburn. That was a little bit of good fortune. They were not pressing like they have been. And I'm not sure. I mean, I was watching a bunch of games, but I didn't have the sound on it. But I was like, wow, what's going on with this game? And so are they worn out from playing that's we talk about these tempos all the time in football, and the Malzahns, the Kiffins, the Heupels, these guys that come through the SEC, they realize, well, you can't go hyper speed in this league and win anything of consequence for very long. You could wear down. I'm just wondering if these guys are worn out a little bit from playing it because they just weren't pressing as hard as they usually are, and also teams are prepared when they do press a little bit. But I'm wondering if the Aggies in Buckyball is hitting a wall right now.
It's a reasonable question. I had somebody whose basketball opinion I respect about 5 games ago. I said, look, you better start taking A&M seriously. And he said, it's not sustainable what they're doing. Now, is it because of fatigue or because teams have figured it out, or, take your pick? Missouri only played 7 guys last night. So this would have been a team that maybe
absolutely
you can get
was
into their
vulnerable
legs.
To the
you get into their legs
style,
a little bit, and they didn't. And they got beat on the offensive glass pretty good. They've now lost 3 straight. So is the fact that, listen, there have been a lot of good coaches come through this league and in other power leagues. Nobody else has ever done this. So when you do something that nobody else has ever done, a full court press from wire to wire in every game.
Missed shots and free throws. I think
you either better be innovative and have discovered something, or you find out that there's a reason that nobody else does it this way.
Yeah. No doubt. And look, it doesn't get any easier for them. Looks like Vanderbilt is kind of fixed things.
Yeah.
They go to Nashville Saturday. And so, now they've also what's the record in the league?
7-4.
7-4. So they didn't cover their first one. Then they covered 7 in a row.
8 in a row.
8 in a row. 8 in a row. 8 in a row. They covered in the first of these 3 losses at Alabama. And so now there's two in a row that they hadn't come close to covering. And that's one thing you want to talk about. The odds makers didn't think it was sustainable because they really haven't gotten off. Charles, they're getting a projected like close to double digits on Saturday in Nashville.
Yeah, the other place that they're not getting nearly as much respect as you might think is in the NET, which is down now to 43. You're in the bubble territory
yes.
here.
No, they are.
Their non-conference schedule was among the worst in the nation. They were 337 out of 365 in non-conference schedule. It wasn't just that they were playing bad teams; that they were playing teams whose nets are now in the deep 300s. So that's not going to help them out at all come selection.
I think Lenardi had them as an 8 entering this week.
They were an 8 when he did his deal on Tuesday.
That's a little cushion. They got some good wins.
And the schedule, look, there are winnable games down the stretch for them. They get Ole Miss in College Station. 2 of their 4 remaining road games are at Oklahoma and at LSU, so that's the bottom of the league. Those are games that are very, very winnable for them.
Well, you say that's favorable for their bid chances.
It's favorable for their win total. I don't know.
Okay.
About
but it's more chances for damaging losses.
Yeah.
You lose
half
a good
full, half empty.
Would you? If they have a cushion, I'd rather play really good teams that's not going to damage whether I win or lose. But you get some bad losses in there. That's the one thing that could knock them. That could erase that cushion.
Well, there's a little bit of everything for you then. Because
like Oklahoma at Oklahoma. That's not going to be an easy game.
But if they lose it,
but that's going to be damaging if they lose. So I don't.
All right, there's a couple of opportunities in there for some good wins too. They go to Arkansas and Kentucky goes there, so you got a chance to pick up, a little bit of ground in those. I still think they make the tournament. They've now lost 3 in a row, but I'm a little bit more shaken than I was, a week ago.
So if you had to update it right now, they might be a 9 seed. Okay, all right, but they're NET. If you're in the 40s, and you're trending, they're not out the woods by any stretch. I mean,
no, and you make a point. If they were to lose in Baton Rouge or in Norman, that's a crushing.
I think they will lose in Norman. I don't think they'll lose here. But the other games though, there was the 3 road favorites. Okay, the heavies that went on the road.
Yeah.
The one thing that was different there is that Alabama came out so slow. I mean, Florida. It's his 3rd game in a row, and then they host Kentucky on Saturday. So they had their attention. Okay, they fell behind by 26 in this trip to Athens last year and lost outright. When they went to College Station, what was their motivation there? It's that same was in first place in the league. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll go when they were suffocating against Buckyball. What about the game before that? Sunday game, standalone game, basically against Alabama, and him and Nate Oates are having words, fighting back and forth about Bediako. I don't care if he plays; we're going to beat their ass anyway. That kind of thing. And now, don't they always get up to play Kentucky? Whether they're 16-0 or 0-16 in the league, Kentucky's still Kentucky. So they won. In Florida is this league. It was impossible to match last year's level. Historically, the best conference power rating in the history of the sport. They've fallen back, but the team with the highest, this is a national champion. I think Florida is the closest to their level that last year out of any team in the league this year.
Well, Vanderbilt's gotten better, I would say.
No, Vandy has. Yes. I'm talking about talk about the heavies in the league.
Missouri with that win, now the last team in.
You could have had 6 in the final 8 last year. I'm talking about those teams with deep runs into the second weekend of the tournament. And, just Florida's, I think they're every bit as good. I think Florida's as good as anybody in the country
Missouri,
right now.
the last team in with the win. That puts 11 teams in, according to Lenardi. They're not going to get 11.
I don't
Some of
think
those
they're
will
getting
drop
11
out,
either. You don't like to put it, it's not league by league. You put one in, you take one out. But Missouri is a big win for them. It's a big win for them.
And for Georgia last night with that loss, that's 4 out of 5 they've lost. The one win was here. You're not going to get a lot of credit for that. And 3 of their next 4 on the road. The NET's still okay at 35, but they've got a losing record in the conference now.
I think some teams are getting used to their extreme style, too. When they were rotating 11 and they were the fastest-paced team in the country, they were the highest-scoring team or second-highest scoring for quite some time. They've hit a wall. They started out 4-2 in the league. Now they've lost 4 or 5. Yeah, and the one win is LSU. Yeah.
Alabama scored 32 in the first half and 61 in the second half last night.
They started slow, Charlie, and then they just it was. We know about Phylon, but the other kids had Holloway, I think his name. That's a night that when those two get going, man, they can fill it up. They can really fill it up. This has been a very disappointing season for Chris Beard and Ole Miss. I mean, if they weren't in the top 25 preseason, they were close, would also receiving votes on paper so much better. And I finally had to get, like you said yesterday, you've just been waiting for them to come around. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, and
they're not going to do it.
And you can't blame the schedule on it. I mean, they flipped the one game, but you're way past that. They're 3-8 in the league now. So
they had their deepest football season. It's not their best season ever. Okay. They may have won more games, but this team was not as good as those early 60s teams. But anyway, history, so be it. But it was even the crowd that was there last night, kind of sit on your hands crowd. Even when they were playing well, it's just.
Because it was close at the half.
No, they were winning. Yeah. They were winning by about 6 or 8, and then it was close at half. But it was just. That's what I'm saying. Even in the brighter spots, they weren't always down 15-20 in the game. It's a fan base that's a little drained, and then you have, of course, what happened to the town. I don't know, and then they're performing way below expectation. It's just kind of back. It's just there's no home court advantage, is what I'm trying to say, as it's been the past couple of years over there.
We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store and the Pierreport Store, now open in LaRose and Lockport. On the website, thethibodeaustore.com right now, big sale from Black & Decker items, over 100 items from Black & Decker available. Your electric blowers, vacuum mulchers, your hedge trimmers, cordless blowers, your string trimmers, electric knives, belt sanders, your electric screwdrivers, your pressure washers, your cold water electric pressure washers, pole chainsaws, shearers, regular chainsaws, all of them from Black & Decker, and all of them available at the website, thethibodeaustore.com. Same-day pickup available on every item that is on the website, and you can get to all 4 of these locations from the one site at thethibodeaustore.com. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, Highway 70 in Pierreport, open daily until 5:30. Be getting ready for your outdoor cooking, whether you're doing tailgating for baseball or at your home. Check out the Thibodeau Store. They've got not just all of your pots and your cookers, but all of your accessories to go with it as well. thethibodeaustore.com online. Live, the original walk-ons live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original walk-ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at the original walk-ons live at lunch. Remember, we are also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff. As a matter of fact, my wife had her back flare up just this week, heading in to get a little work done. Whether you need just a little bit of an adjustment, or you need to get into a stretching program that'll loosen some things up, or you need a dry needling, electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, they get you to feeling better, because when that pain starts in your back, your neck, it just it becomes the center of everything that's going on. So it'll help you out. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway, near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. the golf, we underway out at Pebble Beach and et cetera. How we?
I don't have the leaderboard from watching it.
We just,
Siwoo Kim, 5 under through 5 at Pebble Beach. He's your current leader. He's been rolling as of late, top 20s in 10 of his last 11 appearances. That 11th, he finished 21st. So he is trending right now and off to a great start at Pebble Beach, where he hasn't had the most success in his career.
When I looked at all the picks yesterday, Max, I just didn't see why if you were gonna bet anybody besides Scheffler, you wouldn't go without markets.
There's been
it was just we're looking at like 25 to 1 to 20 to 1 to 1, that type of stuff. That's still a nice hit, man. Eliminate this guy.
There's been some real math that suggests that those without Scheffler markets, for the most part, are actually not valuable. And the reason being is that you would think when you remove Scheffler, let's say he's got a third. Let's just say for math purpose, he's got a third of a chance to win this week, Scheffler, right?
That means you take it. I'll do the math for you, okay?
But you don't necessarily get a third better odds when you lose, because it actually opens up the field a lot more. So basically your odds without Scheffler, if I were to tell you right now that Scheffler doesn't win, it doesn't necessarily make a 33% jump in Rory's odds, for example, because it actually opens up the whole field. Roughly the guy like Henley was 25 to 1, okay, and the without is 20 to 1, okay. So that is you reducing 5 of 25. Max is how much? That's 20%. Sure.
Okay. You telling me that Scheffler's only winning 20% of his the tournaments he's playing?
His odds suggest that he has a 24%. His outright odds.
Okay,
so that one is probably a slightly favorable.
This level, you telling me you think he's got a 20% chance of winning this one? But that's the guy, because I think he's got more of a 20% chance, and that's why I think there's more value in the without.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is just taking out Scotty Scheffler doesn't necessarily improve Henley's odds to win by 20%.
How many tournaments did he play last year?
It would actually be
lower.
How
many tournaments did he play last year?
Scheffler, I'll look it up.
Did he win half of his tournaments last year?
It wasn't half. What
is 40%?
It was close to 33, 35.
Okay, that's higher than 20%.
Sure.
Now, is he in the same form this year? We don't know. But damn it, he even in a loss, that wasn't impressive. How close he got?
No doubt. I'm just arguing that the math guys say that it's not as valuable as
I'm a math guy. Okay, I just did it for you. 25 of 25 is 20%, Max.
I thought that way too, Jimmy, but the math is apparently it doesn't necessarily, when you take Scheffler out, it doesn't necessarily improve Henley's odds to win by 20%, like you would think. It's not hand-to-hand.
He won 6 times in 20 starts last year.
6 of 20?
6 and 20.
So, 30%.
It's in the top 10 17 times in 20 events.
30%.
Here's the
Do
other.
You think he's in the same form this year? We're done talking math. I got that. So, do you think he's in the same form this year?
So far, yes.
I do too.
Now, Siwoo also shot 2 over in the first round last week and also finished runner-up. So
Siwoo and Goddard are their form is pretty damn strong.
Goddard, no doubt. He's going to be poised this year. Interesting to see how he does in the majors. The other thing about the without Scheffler markets, just to keep in mind, if they finish in a tie for second, you're going to get that split. So if he finishes in a 4-way tie, which we've seen a couple times, we saw at the American Express, it was a 4-way tie for second. If you're in the without Scheffler markets, you're not getting paid at 81. You're getting paid at 20 to 1 because it gets split 4 ways. So that's the other thing you have to consider. You're not necessarily getting the full payment if there's a tie for second to Scotty Scheffler, because it's going to get
talking about outrights. We weren't talking about anything else.
No, but what I'm saying is if you're in the without Scheffler markets and you end up in a tie for second,
I got you.
It's going to get split a bunch of ways. So that's another thing to
that is valid. That is valid.
So you're not going to get the full payout.
I'm sitting here and y'all are confusing me. Should I bet the Scheffler
No,
market
because
market?
the outright the without market you have a chance to tie.
Okay.
If you with Scheffler, no, there's no tournament ends in a tie, but you can finish in a tie for second. That's the most valid point too that decreases it. So if you tie for a second, well, this split, Charlie. So you might you're not going to get as it's going to be a higher percentage than 20%.
The argument I've heard is probably you should bet with the Scheffler markets in most cases. However, some of these odds, when they adjust the market with Scheffler, so the overall markets, they fail to adjust the without Scheffler markets properly. So you can catch some good numbers on the without Scheffler markets. But overall, the general rule is it's typically better to just go ahead and bet them as you would in the tournament.
But guess what, Charlie? If you finish in a tie, you cash in.
You do cash.
And guess what? And that's a scenario where guess what? It's paying a lot more than a with Scheffler market if you tie for second.
I need y'all to make this simple for me. I'm not joking. I need y'all to make it simple for me. I don't follow it as closely as you two do. So give me something that I can put on a fortune cookie. Bet this or don't bet this.
I have not been betting without Scheffler markets in most cases. I will say, though, I bet Scheffler this week, and I never do that. So things change. But I bet Scheffler this week, and this is the third time in the last 3 years that I bet Scotty Scheffler outright.
25 for 25, 20 for 20 on top 25s last year in the tournaments. This guy's never completely out of it. And
that last week, what was his highest? I know after the first round, it was like 21 to 1. I know that was not the buy high spot on him.
Mid-second round, he got off to a slow start as well.
No, but what was his odds on Saturday? Or it was
mid-Friday, he was about 25 to 1.
25 to 1 on Friday, okay.
And then I would say we probably didn't get much
better.
So
peaked at 25. Okay. Yeah. It's not many 25 to 1 shots going to be. I don't know. He's going to enter. So what's the over-under? How many he won 6 of 20 last year? 5?
I think you got to set it at 5.5 again.
If Charlie, let me tell you that if he's at 30% winning, the without market is worth a consideration. It is.
I'll tell you where I'm betting him. U.S. Open. Complete the career Grand Slam. I'm going to have 150% of his focus
Charlie,
that week. I realize the field is huge.
Here's something that won't confuse you also. Okay?
You got to keep it simple for me.
It's college basketball. What's your minimum point difference? Your original bet, you got to get a middle. 4 points, right?
Yeah.
Does not apply with LSU. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So throw the book. Throw the handbook out.
That I understand.
Because when they're down 15 and the line's 13.5, it's probably going to double. Should be probably 28.5 instead of 13.
What do you think that line's going to be in Knoxville Saturday?
Where are they playing at Tennessee?
Yeah. 12.
Oh, a little higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14.5, 15.5, something like that.
I mean, they just lost by 29 at home. Tennessee's not great, but they're not terrible either.
Ken Prom projections 11.5, but that's not weighing in injuries, so I'd imagine 13.5, somewhere in there.
Doesn't figure to be pretty.
The odds makers still like them. They're 6-5 in the league.
Yeah, they're against the spread. Well, that means
the odds and the metrics,
jack that number up.
They like them. I mean, they were 4.5. 4.5. Now, injuries. I mean, Arkansas had 2 guys out. So I like.
You got enough of a sample size without Thomas to where you're not having to guess how they're going to play without him.
He's minimal as far as to affect the line anyway.
I mean, the first time he was out fine, but he's missed more than half the season.
McKinnon got hurt as well. That could really affect the offense. They already don't have space.
Okay, to give you an idea, 3 to 4 points for the projected number 1 pick. Okay, went from 1.5, 2.5 to 5.5.
At Kansas.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. When Peterson went out, there's another one that went out. Okay, Illinois and Wisconsin. Is that Tuesday night? It went from 12 to 10.5. Stojakovic was out. These guys are way more impactful. You're talking a half a point at most, and probably nothing for DeDan Thomas.
Right, and to say nothing of the fact that they played more games without him than with him in league play. So it's not like this is a big surprise. Oh, how are they going to play? No, we've seen how they play without him. We've seen how they play with him. It's not all that good. And he's a nice player, but no.
And they're trending in the wrong direction.
What did he shoot from the floor in conference play? About 30%?
No,
it's a little bit higher than that, but from 3-point range, it's down at around 30%.
Conference play.
Without Max is going to look it up. I'm going to say he probably shot. I'm going to say he probably shot 38%, maybe 38%. That's my guess.
I got the under.
You got under 38% from the floor now.
Yeah.
Okay.
2s and 3s.
2s and 3s. 38%. You got the under. What did he shoot from the floor?
Thomas in only SEC play, 34.1%, 14 of 41.
Oh, you.
That's a nice player.
12 assists at 3
That's-
turnovers.
that's
he
north of
runs,
$2 million?
he runs- no.
Well, I mean, that's not a nice player. Ain't nobody in college basketball shoots 34%. And
He
you
runs
can
the
say,
that's only
offense
in
a little
3
bit. They're a
games. It's
little
a
bit
small
better.
sample. It's
They're
a small
a
sample.
little bit better.
Only
okay?
3 games he's played in SEC play, and one of them he was coming off the bench, in rust.
It was
So
the
he
same
started 2
argument they were
games.
making in the non-conference with Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed's a nice player, okay? He's not a bad player, but he's not going to move the.
I don't
move
want to
the
hear
needle
any
that far.
numbers from that garbage non-conference schedule.
I'm talking
Okay.
about. I'm talking about just the 2 games that they played in non-conference.
DePaul's got a winning record.
He's a 34% shooter, and ain't nobody in college basketball 3 games in conference play that you're going to describe as nice player at 34%.
You understand
No.
how far my expectations have gone down? He's better than the ones that they put out the other night. Okay,
Get your
That's
damn
it.
unicycle and bowls on your head, boy.
That's.
Where's your
all.
schmuck?
I'm
It's
reading.
Mardi
I'm
Gras.
trying to read court documents here.
Are you going
while
to
we're
be
doing
dressed up
this.
like King Sucrose
I'll-
and damn
on
Red
Tuesday?
Panda
On Tuesday, I just might.
Red Hanny?
I'm reading court documents, so I know how much security link. If
What are you, like a
anything
court
goes to-
reporter?
Yeah, today I am. Mom testified. I'll tell you what happened when we come
What
back.
do they call it? Type shorthand or whatever? The court reporter? Was it
Stenography.
stenography?
Yeah, the court reporter.
How do you know that? You been
I
to
paid
court too
atten-
much?
You paid attention in Spanish class. I paid attention in English class. How's that?
I was a big, I knew Bad Bunny was coming.
They don't have stenographers in the House of the Dragon, don't they, Jimmy? You don't.
No,
do
they
that.
don't.
Yeah,
At House of
sadly.
Dragon, I'm ready. I'm ready
See,
for
I
that
watch,
comeback.
I watch law shows, so I would.
I'm
know
ready
that
to
too,
come
but-
back. At House of Dragon, boy. That's some conniving, hot people, boy. They're something, man.
By the way, mom is testifying for him. You'll be interested in the cross
Oh,
examination.
his tonsils are too worn out to speak.
Do that when we come back from the break. Cheryl Chambliss on the stand in Oxford.
Oh, my goodness. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the bank that have been serving the people of South Louisiana for over years. From Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, Charlie, including their newest branch at right down the street from here, walk-ons at Burbank and Blue Bonnet. My great friends at the United Community Bank, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, and Prentice Wilkes. You know, your business is our business. We support the hard-working folks behind local business, from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments. United Community Bank can be here for you. Stop on by and see our great team of bankers. See how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at the original Walk-Ons Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The hearing on Trinidad Chambliss' eligibility continues up in Oxford. His mother on the stand.
What is this? Where's humans?
Humans on vacation.
You know what? Well, what would he be talking about right now?
Probably last night in college basketball.
The quad god. Human's a big guy. He loves that quad god.
Quad guy. Quad
Is that
god.
tonight or is this afternoon? Quad god?
Let's see.
Huh?
Max is not allowing you
Did you
to
see
take
that guy
action.
do that double quad and he even
did
gave
not.
like a little fist? His shadow boxing, Charlie, coming off the ice last time. You seen a guy do that? Brian Botano didn't do that.
No, he didn't.
Scotty Hamilton.
Scotty Hamilton did
Hanny
not.
Hamilton.
Dorothy Hamill didn't do that. No.
She might be the most popular winter Olympic athlete ever. Dorothy Hamill was
Dorothy
big,
Hamill,
huh?
Peggy Fleming.
Peggy
Dorothy
Fleming.
Hamill. Yeah.
He's back in action in the men's free skate on tomorrow, Friday. from,
tomorrow.
noon
What time?
To 4 o'clock.
There we go.
It's like,
You're going to have to do the second hour of the show. I'll have to talk to we'll
That
have to
dude's
talk
a
to Bruce.
badass, man. That quad god is something. I'm telling you, Charlie.
I believe you.
Telling you.
I believe you.
you can't even bet on it either. I can't believe this is a hot take. You love the quad guy, can't even bet on him.
If
You don't
the
have to
judges
bet on
in-
everything, Max.
Really?
Okay?
Jimmy, I can't believe you
Jordan,
said that.
clip that.
Yes.
Please clip that. We put that on a promo somewhere. You don't have to bet everything. All right, so here's what Cheryl Chambliss had to say. That Ferris, I'm interested in this story. I don't care if you are not.
I take it. I'm well aware.
I want to see if this guy's going to be eligible or not. That Ferris State didn't declare a medical red shirt because they didn't foresee him leaving, and if he was still at Ferris State, he would be eligible because of the eligibility differences in D1 and D2. She also said that when Ole Miss recruited him, they believed he'd have 2 more years of eligibility remaining. I don't know if that counts for anything. Then the NCAA had a chance to cross-examine her, and they said, "Congratulations on raising an outstanding young man. We have no questions for you." So they didn't want to beat up Mama. They wanted to, because what points are you going to possibly gain if you had tonsillitis and you didn't take him to the doctor? No, they let that go. How much is he worth to them in the preseason win-loss totals?
I think
Knight is their backup quarterback. The 5-star that went to Auburn and didn't play. Well, played 1 game or 2 games last year.
Played one run and win. I think
he played against Mercer. I think it was.
Yeah, when they sat the other guy who was better because they wanted to play him in the Iron Bowl.
He's a very highly recruited kid, but hasn't really played.
I don't care about highly recruited. He couldn't see the field, barely see the field for Auburn, which was pathetic at quarterback.
So the
last year.
difference between Trinidad Chambliss and him.
Trinidad Chambliss might be the best quarterback in the country, Arch Manning included. I'm not saying about drafting, but he might be the best. I mean, that's including the guy. He played better than the guy from Oregon this year.
Well, top five in the Heisman odds preseason.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not the favorite, but certainly in the top.
He loses his coach and his offense coordinator. That hurts.
Sure,
absolutely. I mean, that's Kiffin's one of his strengths, and nobody wants to talk about, but they might have got over the hump against Miami with Kiffin on the sidelines. I know it's not the season for that. It's they wanted to slam him and not give him any credit. I get that, but Chambliss still there'll be enough continuity system-wise in his decision-making, he's a dual threat. You just want him out of a 1 to 10. Say this guy's a 1 to 10 passer. This guy's like a non-passer, but he's like a 5 runner. Man, when you could get like 7 or 8 in both, man, that's just hard to find. And he throws the ball with so much more accuracy and touch than most guys with his athleticism and his mobility and his ability to hurt you with his legs. He's so much better. And, I mean, that's one thing when they start working him out, they're like, oh, he's not just a runner. That was the thing. And then even when he played the first game, I'm like, well, look at the damn numbers. This guy's so much better throwing the ball than Simmons. No, I don't know, Charlie, 2 or 3 games? A lot. Because I don't think Ole Miss's roster is going to be quite as good as they've been. And, I mean, they're probably a type of a fringe-ranked team, maybe, 20 to 25. They're probably going to be a little bit higher than that preseason. But based on Chambliss might be the difference in him knocking on the top 10 and being unranked.
Yeah, I don't know about the win total, but as far as the rankings,
if you're ranking,
he's worth 10 spots.
I would put 15.
Okay. Then
because I'm putting in the 11 to 15 are unranked,
and I'm looking at the LSU game. Okay, the great Kiffin Ole Miss war of the transfer portal. What did you end up with? You ended up with Ole Miss's leading tackler from a year ago. You ended up with Ole Miss's leading pass rusher from a year ago. You ended up with the guy who was projected to be Ole Miss's starting left tackle next year. You ended up with one of their rotation receivers. You didn't get Lacey, but you're okay there, and you didn't get the kicker. If the quarterback's out of the equation, this flips to the whole transition from Ole Miss beat LSU last year and should have beat them the year before to LSU might go – if Trinidad Chambliss isn't the quarterback, LSU might go in there better than a touchdown favorite.
Easily.
I mean, he's worth that much. That's
he's
why I'm
so
kind of
good, man.
And it's not like there's not going to be enough light on this game anyway. But if Chambliss isn't there, man,
how good would he have been with off season workouts with them? How good would he have been with reps with the ones? I mean, how many reps did he get before Simmons was hurt? I mean, it's just and then look, he exceeded their expectations too.
Sure.
I mean, because my sources are like, well, the staff likes him. They didn't. He would have been playing ahead of Simmons if they thought he was that good.
Jimmy, there was actually a question when Simmons got hurt if when he was healthy that he was going to go back into the lineup.
No, Kiffin was playing. After we saw Simmons against Arkansas, that was over, if you ask me. Because you saw enough, even though they struggled in that game, even though they needed a fumble at their own 25 with a less than a one-score game, Arkansas was about to beat them.
Yeah.
And
we couldn't even understand why he put Simmons in the game for those two red zone plays against Oklahoma.
That's a fair criticism of Kiffin. When he gets to some of these big games, he kind of outthinks himself. And, I mean, he did that in Oklahoma. I mean, there's no reason to do that. And that was deeper into the season where he had a bigger sample size. But he felt, he hadn't won on that stage yet, Charlie. Beat a ranked team away from home. He hadn't, that was his biggest win. That is still his biggest win on the road, huh?
That was, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what's that match?
I'm pretty shocked. They actually have a line on their opener. Louisville at Ole Miss. Ole Miss a 5.5-point favorite. I mean, that's a massive difference if they have Chambliss or not. But
you said they're a 5.5-point favorite?
Ole Miss is a 5.5-point favorite at home.
That's
Louisville.
That's a neutral site game.
Neutral site, sorry.
That's a neutral site game.
Yeah, I was about to say that seems a little light.
That's in Nashville.
Nashville. Okay. This is game 3 for LSU. This kid Knight, if he's got to play, has got to ramp up in 2 games to face these guys. This is better than a touchdown swing in the line.
LSU, when you get that, they'll have a sample size, and because the fluidity is more than ever with the changeover in personnel and roster, every year.
Yeah.
So you got to be you're going to be way more reactionary. So LSU against Clemson and Ole Miss against Louisville. After that week, we're going to have a much better picture of where that line's going to be. It's just it's hard. I think we saw a line already. It's like a pick 'em, huh? Or maybe Ole Miss won at home. I saw under a touchdown. I think 1 or 2.
Okay.
Do you remember when you saw that? Because
both of them were very close ranked preseason.
Was it before Levitt? That line that you saw, was it before LSU got Levitt or after?
No, they didn't put out lines until the rosters were done.
Okay.
No.
So the difference, how much of a difference if you've got Chambliss versus Knight making that would be his 4th start, or Sam Levitt, assuming he's healthy, making start, 22, 23, something like that. If Levitt's playing for LSU and Chambliss ain't playing for Ole Miss, I mean, Tigers might be a 10-point favorite in that game, depending on what happens in the first game.
Not at Ole Miss. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe they should be, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay, because LSU's got a chance to be way better than Ole Miss.
And maybe Knight goes for 400 yards against Louisville. I can't predict that.
But if Knight plays, I mean, it's just a big difference with Chambliss, man.
Which is why I'm watching the court reporters today.
So yes, I understand. No, his impact is immense. I think I love the kid the way he plays, man. I mean, he's just so smart. He's just smart, quick. I mean, he's everything but 6'3".
Yeah.
That is it. That is it. I mean, what can't he do? And he's only good. And do we not see a spike in year 1, year 2 as a starter?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, you do have to.
Not 90% of the time.
The coaching change makes a difference here, okay? You don't have your OC and your head coach, so you got to take that into consideration. But in general, yes, of course, you make that jump into year 2.
I think yes, that reduces it at Ole Miss for Chambliss, but I think the other things are just having more time in there. Still a little bit of continuity on that staff and system. So I think I saw enough. I would be confident he would bump up. Now, I don't know about their roster if it's going to be as strong. Their offensive depth chart going to be? Is he going to have as good a supporting cast
as he had last year?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, well then that's going to knock it down again.
And given the amount of light that's going to be on this game, I would prefer LSU stomp a mud hole in them. That's why I'm watching so close.
Don't forget, it's opening weekend at the Box. It's LSU South Carolina women's basketball. It's sold out Saturday night. A great viewing. If you can't get in to the Box, to the PMAC, Next best place to watching the game is right here at the original Walk-Ons. Capture all the excitement because you're around a bunch of LSU baseball fans and women's basketball fans, and so you can. It's always going to be a great atmosphere over here at the original Walk-Ons. And don't forget, it's never too late to reserve your spot for crawfish boils. Crawfish boils this spring over here at Walk-Ons.
Live, the original Walk-Ons live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at the original Walk-Ons live at lunch here. Again, here, huge weekend. LSU baseball tomorrow starting at 2, weather permitting, 1 o'clock on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday, and LSU women's basketball against South Carolina on Saturday night. Hard sellout at the PMAC. ESPN Game Day will be there for LSU and South Carolina. Coming by the Walk-Ons before, during, after all of these games coming up this weekend. Is your Dragons show coming on tonight?
I don't know, Matlock.
Is the golf gonna be on late enough for you to watch?
The Dragon shows, they don't come out till I think that's this year though. Later summer or fall.
I think so, but they got a spinoff going right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see if I can do that.
Because you got to really want college basketball tonight. So
no, it's date night, Charlie.
It's bad.
It's date night.
All right. Well.
Yes. No. They don't. It might be like a blank Otterlocks. I looked at the schedule. I have no picks.
No hockey, and I think there's 3 games in the NBA before they start the All-Star break.
You can't pick NBA
an
hour before any more than 45 minutes before the game time.
So I looked for you in the hockey. The Olympics tonight. You can watch hockey.
It's date night tonight, Charlie.
Okay. Well,
hot party of one.
Germany and Denmark. Chechnya and no.
I go to like
Canada.
last Thursday. I went and sat at the bar at the Rufino's and hung out with the staff and had a nice meal. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to do crawfish. At Sammy's. I don't know if I'm going to do oysters at Mike Anderson's. I don't know if I'll do Modesto or Rocco. But we're going somewhere, Charlie.
Team Relay Luge at
no, we're not betting on the Relay Luge, Charlie.
The Moguls. I like the Moguls.
If you get the Luge, I'll bet on it.
USA.
Get your behind on that unicycle and get them balls on your head, Red.
I'm going to do the skeleton. If I'm going to hurt myself, I'm going to hurt myself. Right? Sweden and the USA women's curling at 8:30.
That's Max's crap. He bets on that
curling.
crap.
Women's curling?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it different than men's curling?
Well, they do 4
Charlie,
instead of 2. It was
Charlie, is
doubles.
Is the lane longer or the?
I don't think so.
The little.
I don't really know the rules.
You work out with a broom?
He's talking to you.
Oh, me?
Charlie.
Oh no.
Did your wife work out with the broom?
With a broom? Yeah. My first job ever was sweeping. Okay, when I was
I swept some leaves yesterday.
A teenager. Talk about never.
Good job, Matlock.
Yeah.
What's the line again? Can we bet on Mars in the Oxford courtroom?
Because
my money's on him.
Go. Odd party of one. Tomorrow we're at Rufino's at 11 a.m., and we're getting you ready for LSU opening up the 26th season at the Box. From all of us here at Walk-Ons, Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. I'm going to court. Let's see what's going on with Chambliss.